So I'm Adam, and I see what they've done here, right? They put Watson on, right? So let's solve the world's problems. And then they put the guy on with the GIFs right after to do the high-low. Yeah. Oddly enough, though, our ambitions are actually quite similar. We want to use technology to help people do the stuff they want to do, and GIFs are actually part of that. So we're going to get a little crazy. We're going to talk about the future a little bit, right? And then we're also going to talk about the past. Bill and Ted's always good. And we're going to talk about this guy a little bit. More on him later. He's quite important. I don't know if anyone can recognize it. Hard to find GIFs for a philosopher, trust me. And we're also going to talk about tech. Enjoy it. But first, I think we should talk about you guys. So you're probably sitting there doing a little bit of this, right? I see someone over there, right there. And maybe you're more likely doing a lot of this stuff. And I'm up here doing this. And we're all just kind of like, crap, banging our heads. And it sucks. You sit down at a screen, you're going to type, and you hate it, and you just keep asking yourself. And here's the thing, because words, right, the written word, the way it appears on the page, the way you can write it on a wall, wasn't made for this stuff. Imagine if you'd build a computer and then you built language after that. You'd have an input method that's much different. Words were meant for instruments like this, so you could write with it, so you could put it on that cave, so you could carve it into stone. And they were made for writing. They were made for communicating, because you needed to make ideas portable before there were computers and before the internet happened. And so you had to put it on paper. But now everyone's got one of these. I feel like I'm going to see someone doing that somewhere, but I don't know. So why the hell are we still typing when all of our information looks like this? Doesn't make any sense, right? Makes me do shit. It's baffling. Let's go a little deeper, though. All right? Hypnotoad is one of my favorites, so if you want to know, that's Hypnotoad from Futurama, and you should all get to know him very well. Wittgenstein, this is that fella in the beginning. Very, very famous philosopher. He kind of like undid a bunch of philosophy, wrote one book called Tractatus when he was in his early 20s, and then lost his mind, became a school teacher and a gardener or whatever. But he did this one great thing. He told philosophers they were getting it all wrong, and they got really mad. But the reason why he said they were all wrong is because words are clumsy. His point was that words are really good at the literal. I can go back if we want to look at more clueless. Words are excellent at the literal, right? Literal, chair, car, cat. If I say those things, you know what those things are. For the most part, we have a pretty good degree of shared certainty because those concepts can be reified. We can see them in the world. We can point at them. We know what they do. We know what they look like. But when we say stuff that's abstract, we talk about things like love or ambition or freedom or curiosity or hope. Words are terrible because they're just these big, ambiguous ideas that resolve as a few letters, and you don't know what the hell's going on. And so he tore all these philosophers apart because they were trying to discuss these really complex ideas, these thoughts, and they weren't talking about chairs. They were talking about all these other things. But they were all we ever had for the longest time to put our thoughts into books. And we needed books, and we needed words, because we all just wanted to achieve a common ground. We all wanted to understand each other and know what we were talking about. So that's what they were really good for. But then this happened. The internet comes along, and we're all dancing like that kid, and our minds are like blown because we don't need books anymore. We got Terry Crews in his brain and Old Spice to do all of it for us. No, but the internet happens and it blows everybody's mind because now our ideas, right, all these great things that we were writing down, that we were putting in paper and putting in books and printing and sending around the world, on boats and on planes and whatever, they're moving through pipes. And they're moving in pipes all across the world so fast at the speed of the Starship Enterprise. And they're going straight to our screens. There's no book anymore. It's going straight to the laptop. It's going into your phone, all this stuff. And it opened up this whole world where now we have endless and instant access to media, right? I can get a movie, I can get a TV show, anything coming out of Hollywood from any different region, country, area, I can get it immediately. And so that is what I know. And so now we're starting to share like this. We're using our phones and our screens, and we're giving them to each other, and we're watching them together, and we're sending them back and forth, and we're not sharing like this anymore. So fundamentally, the things that we're using to communicate information are changing, which means that our words, our big ambitious concepts about really vague things, are actually getting replaced by our media, by our culture. And so love is now this clip where Heath Ledger's doing something that a lot of people would like to do. And it gets even bigger, right? It's not just Heath Ledger. It's Minions, it's Jay-Z, it's all these great people. Did everyone say, just someone say aw? Yeah, all right, cool. That's great. That was the whole point. But the really big point is that our culture is replacing our words because the input method is kind of broken, so why are we using it? We can transfer this media and this culture around. We don't need to use words anymore. We have more descriptive variables to express ourselves. Then this happened after the internet. And holy shit. Right? And it wasn't just that. It was all of them. There's like a bajillion. There's social networks. There's messengers. There's chat apps. There's all this stuff. You can do ephemeral messaging and pictures and all sorts of ways you can embarrass yourself. So now we're doing this all day long. We're all heads down. We're looking on our phones. We're swiping. We're moving. And we have like no time for anything because we're freaking out. Oh no. Because of this, like we have 45 conversations and different screens and different people and different kinds of media and things we're consuming, and so there's no time. I don't have enough attention to give you 10 minutes to watch this thing or read your very long email or read the long text message my mom sends me because she thinks it's like writing a letter, but it's not, which is a whole other thing. We don't have time for words, right? It's too much. They're not fast enough, and they're not descriptive enough about the whole range of emotion that we're trying to express. And we definitely don't have time for this, right? This is all day long. And let's not talk about the pre-roll that happens right after that. All right, so what's the big deal, right? What am I getting at? The point of this is Kanye. It's that if our input methods are outdated, if we can't type effectively into our machines, because our machines were built for something else. They can do so much more than type. And our words are clumsy. So I don't know if you know this. Man, I'm just going to sit on these. So input methods are broken. Here, hold on. Let's go back. So input methods are outdated. I just want you to get this again. And our words are clumsy because they can't describe all the things that we want to do. But our culture is shared, right? We all know Star Wars. We know Han Solo. We know what this means. And him expressing that is something that millions and billions of people know. And I never have to write a thing. And then we're all freaking out because we don't have any time. Because we're all on our phones. This is how we do it. Then this is what the future looks like. We talked, we wrote, we used emoji, and we used emoticons. But really what's happening is we're going to use and we're going to communicate through our content. We're not going to communicate through words anymore, especially when it's efficient and effective. It's mobile. It goes on social really well. So why would I write I'm happy when I can do that dancing Jeremy Renner, which is just amazing. That's it. Thanks.